What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Wednesday. That's right, it's hump day, but I'll tell you what, doesn't feel like a hump day because Bitcoin is currently over $12,000. We are sitting at 2.08% up since yesterday. Now, obviously, by the time you see this video, we may not be at $12,000. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So I went to go upload the video, literally was about to push publish, and Bitcoin goes and does this. But actually, it's not that big of a deal. The fact that Bitcoin pulled back a little bit today might even make this video more relevant than it was even before. So that being said, if you want to get the most value out of today's video, definitely stick around all the way to the end. And I think that now that Bitcoin's actually pulling back, it might even make our case that much stronger. But I do want to talk about what is happening, why we are still pumping, where we could be going short term. You can see right here, we pumped up to about $12,344 on futures, dumped down to $11,225, and now find ourselves back around this $12,038 level. $12,010 level, depends on what exchange you're looking at, whether or not it's futures. But a lot of people have been asking me, when is the best time to buy Bitcoin, right? We want to get the best bang for our buck. Well, obviously on this channel, you know, dollar cost averaging is pretty much the go-to strategy. However, you can trade on futures. But I do want to talk about two indicators that we don't actually usually mention that much on the channel, which I think could really help you to get a better grasp on where Bitcoin is heading and maybe when those better entry points could be. So we're going to talk about that. Also want to talk about the Binance FUD with the hack and all that other stuff, right? And yeah, what about that FedCoin, guys? So we're going to talk about that as well. If that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you're not subscribed yet to the Crypto Zombie channel, what are you waiting for? We do this literally every single day. And as you guys know, Monday is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. All you have to do is drop a comment on literally any video. Now, let's give this a quick refresh live and see where we're at. Now, Bitcoin dominance is up to 68.8%. Market cap over 300 billion total. We are at $311 billion. This is good. I'm actually very happy to see that we're back above these levels. If we look at some of the biggest gainers, we do have Lisk up, Japan Content, Binance, Decred, Tezos, Riff, Educare, Crypto.com, and Dash. Another coin that is still doing quite well. This is the second day straight now. We have Matic up another 44% on top of what happened yesterday. So once again, guys, this is, in my opinion, due to the speculation about the Coinbase listing. But yeah, so if you guys watched my video from 2 days ago, I pretty much told you guys, but hey, if you didn't get in on it, that's okay. There are many other opportunities and there's always chances to make money in this crazy crypto corral that is the cryptocurrency space. That was a very interesting statement I just made. Anyway, having a look at my very colorful 80s themed chart over here, you can see that we actually are sitting above all of the major moving averages and the 21 exponential on the 4 hours. So everything is looking good on the lower time frames, okay? But the thing I wanted to talk about too is we are out of the blue zone. This is good, but we are being stomped out by this support turned resistance, okay? So I would like to see ourselves get above this little resistance that's sort of, like I said, we were flipping back and forth between support, resistance, support, right? Well, currently it is acting as the resistance, so it would be nice to get above that $12,228 level. Then we would be putting in some I guess you could say like local highs, right? Which would be good. Obviously, you want to get higher than these previous highs that we had around 13,125. And of course, that 14,000, now it's almost like a psychological level, right? But we are sort of out of this area. Now, currently, we were trapped between the VPVR down here at around 10,653. And of course, our beloved $11,700 level, which we have finally broken above. And I do believe if we stay above 11,700 and go sideways for a little bit, or even just continue to go upwards, well then, yeah, probably seeing these lower levels, it's getting less and less likely that we're going to see them. I mean, you know, Josh Rager, as you guys know, definitely one of my favorite analysts over on Twitter. He says Bitcoin price currently sitting at weekly support on higher time frames. As long as price holds above 11,000, I'm not really that concerned about revisiting the 9Ks again or lower. In fact, he says it's far riskier being bearish at this point in time. take it day by day and week by week. So currently, he's basically saying that if you were a bear right now, that's a little bit more risky, right? I mean, we already had that major pullback that we were looking for, right? How many weeks were we talking about a 30% pullback, right? Well, we got that pullback. So having a look at what's happening here, we are totally out of this descending channel, which is great, right? And look what happened. This resistance has now become support, and you can see we've touched it multiple times. So this is very good. And I put this red line in here too to also show you the the $11,000 level, that if we were to go down, let's say that we were to pull back and have a little bit of a cool off period, well, we might just sort of stay above this level and touch down to that $11,000 level before moving back upwards again, right? But that's bearish. We went over the bearish scenario yesterday. If you guys want to check out yesterday's video, I went over all of my bearish levels. I don't want to just talk about going lower. Also like to talk about going higher. But the other thing too is if you guys had an opportunity to put in a long based on the market cipher, it actually showed a triangle, which shows a trend reversal followed by a green dot on the market cipher A. Now, obviously it's better if you get them at the bottom. As you can see, we had these two that basically signaled that, but hey, if you were able to get in on that, I mean, even if you're still holding right now, I mean, that's a 21% increase. And if you were using leverage, that could have definitely been a very good trade. So congratulations to anybody who got in on that. However, I wanted to entertain something super quick, right? So having a look at basically what happened here, obviously we had our pullback and we've started pumping again. Now, keep in mind, this is BLX. Don't go, the price is not up to date on this, but I wanted to sort of discuss where we are in this market cycle, okay? And I was thinking, when you talk about it, right, you have the smart money investing here, then the institutional investors, followed by the public. Well, I beg to pretty much offer the idea that maybe we just saw this first sell-off into this tiny little bear trap. What if what we experienced here, and obviously as you stretch it out, it gets, less and less pronounced. What if we just experienced this bear trap and now we're actually entering into the public, the retail, right? Because look, what are you seeing right here? Media attention.
What do you buy in this environment? You buy bonds, you buy gold, you buy Bitcoin. All of those were up today, and I think you can still stick with that playbook, at least for the time being, because we haven't seen all the ripple effects.
So I think we can all agree that the media has definitely been covering Bitcoin lately. I can't turn on any station without hearing something about Bitcoin, even if it's just passively mentioned. But I know the question is, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Is this a little mini bubble? Should I wait for lower prices? Well, I wanted to bring up the Mayer multiple. Now, I spoke about this on the channel. It was a while ago. It was many months ago. I don't even remember the last time. But let's go over this again, because if you notice right here, when we had that peak at 14,000, you'll notice that the Mayer multiple actually ended up peaking out right here at around 2.45. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is the significance of 2.45? Well, 2.45 is essentially when the Mayer multiple says that we are entering a speculative bubble. Well, we were obviously instantly rejected. Now, you could see every time that the Mayer multiple gets above this 2.45 level, or 2.4 level, we are definitely close to the top of the peak, or we're, getting to the end of a bull market, right? For example, right here, December, 2017, when we had the all-time high, the Mayer multiple was putting in around a 3.76. And just for reference, at the low, when Bitcoin was around 3,100, the Mayer multiple was putting in around 0.525. Now, basically, the easiest way that we can discuss this is that anytime the Mayer multiple is above 1, we are considered to be in a bull market. And anytime the Mayer multiple is above 2.4, we are considered to be in a speculative, almost parabolic type of a thing, right? So having a look at where we are right now, the Mayer multiple is sitting at 1.65. So we are sitting above 1, which says that we are in a bull market, but we're sitting below 2.4, which says that we haven't exactly entered the parabolic run-up. So currently, as you can see, pretty much accumulation anywhere under the 2.4 level has always shown to be a very good time to accumulate Bitcoin, right? So that's number one. Now, number two, if we use this chart in comparison, and these are all from Woodbull charts, by the way. This is Woolly Woo's website. If you guys aren't familiar with it, this is the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon. Now, we discussed this yesterday, but a few days ago. But I want to talk about this in conjunction with the Mayer multiple, because the fact that we're seeing the Mayer multiple under 2.4 but above 1 is telling me that we are in a bull market, but we are not at the speculative bubble phase, which means that this could be some of the best opportunities to accumulate Bitcoin. Now, not as good as the opportunity around 3K, but you're noticing that every time the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon turns on itself, right, it twists and you see the lower bands move above the higher bands. Well, that basically signals we're moving into bear zone, we're moving into bull zone, right? Well, currently the ribbon has just started to untwist the other way and expand, showing that we are just breaking out of the almost accumulation phase into the next big bull run. So between the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon and the Bitcoin Mayer multiple, well, then to simply answer your question, I would say that now would be the time to accumulate Bitcoin if you haven't accumulated yet. I mean, we've had plenty of opportunity to buy Bitcoin under 10K. Obviously not financial advice. Don't just buy it because I said it. But that is basically what I wanted to point out. And guys, once again, I can't stress it enough. This whole Bitcoin is not a store of value. Get out of town with that argument. That argument is outdated and it's played out. Look at this chart. This blue zone represents all the time that you could have bought Bitcoin and you would be up. And the red zones represent the too little times that you could have bought Bitcoin and you would be down. And these two boxes here represent less than, I can't do the math right here, but it's only like 60 to 90 days. So like 2 to 3 months out of 10 years of its existence would Bitcoin have been a horrible purchase. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say about that when people ask me when is the best time to buy Bitcoin. But here is something interesting too that I wanted to talk about, and this is just kind of to really just entertain the bullish case. This is really crazy, okay? So just bear with me here. But what if this first sell-off, this bear trap, what if that was just the little bear market from 2018? What if 2018 was just one giant bear trap and we're destined to blast off to ungodly highs, 100K, $1 million, $10 million Bitcoin? You let me know. So basically, to answer the question, yes, any day is a good day to buy Bitcoin, but currently now is relatively a really good time compared to the Mayer multiple and the ribbon. Now, I know, getting too bullish here, right? So, all right, let's bring ourselves back to reality here. So we have Marcus Swanepoel, CEO of Luno. He believes that, contrary to the prevailing view that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, it's actually just a speculative asset that offers irrational returns as well as risk. Okay. Take that with a grain of salt. Since the Dow Jones Industrial Average crashed after the Fed's neutral stance, Bitcoin has been spiraling upward, which has reignited the argument that it is indeed a safe haven asset. We spoke about this multiple times. So the CEO believes it is a speculative asset and it is not a safe haven. His logic resides in the fact that Bitcoin is volatile and liquidity in the markets is mostly being provided by speculators. Now, keep in mind, yes, it is volatile, but it is a very young asset. It has a very low market cap. As the market cap starts to grow, Bitcoin will start to become less and less volatile. However, keep in mind that it's during these times that most of the money is to be made. Just going to point that out. But, let's be honest here, guys. Gold is just as speculative as Bitcoin, and it's much more volatile as a long-term scale than stocks, bonds, or currencies. And when you think about it, we have so much gold that has still been unmined, right? What about all the gold under the oceans, right? What about this meteor that's made out of gold, right? Well, there's only 21 million Bitcoin, so that's kind of something we should consider. Also, Bitcoin has the same features: an inability to increase in supply, no authoritative control, except here's the key difference: Bitcoin cannot be seized by the government, whereas your physical gold, your gold ETF, and your gold bonds can. And I personally think that given the situation, what we're seeing with all of this global economic turmoil, well, I think that something that's unconfiscatable by the government is something that I would rather put my money into. But that's just my opinion. You let me know what you think below. Also, you see people bragging, Charlie Bolello over here, he's talking about S&P 500 over the last 20 years. years, 211%. Long-term bonds, 320%. And you got my buddy Oddgems over here. LOL, 20 years to wait for a mere 320%. Returns in some crypto in the last 6 months. Bitcoin, 410%. One Ledger, 415. Quant Network, 1400. Tomo Chain, 300. Unetwork, 3000. So come on, guys. You're still messing around with these boring old bonds. By the way, One Ledger had an interview with those guys a while ago, so really glad to see that they're doing well. Also, let's talk about the hack, the Binance hack. Oh no, that's it, guys. All of our information is forever leaked across the internet. Well, no, it actually turns out that, you were seeing a Telegram group that was having all of these different pictures of people being released and stuff like that. Well, you could see that CZ Binance basically confirmed that this is the same exact old news that we had from a while ago. These are not anything new. Yes, there was a situation that happened with a third-party KYC provider. So they did issue an official statement right here. You could see that they say, we'd like to inform you that an unidentified individual has threatened and harassed us, demanding 300 Bitcoin in exchange for withholding 10,000 photos that bear similarity to Binance KYC data. Now, they do say that they are still looking into it. However, after refusing to cooperate and continuing this extortion, the individual has started to basically talk to media outlets and put these pictures out. But they say that on initial review of the images, they all appear to be dated from February of 2018, at which the time Binance had contracted a third-party vendor for the KYC. Now, we already had this hack happen. We already had these photos leaked. So it just looks like they're just basically taking these old photos and trying to pretend like they got something new, right? They say we believe that these are the same data sets, and the hacker also claims he has KYC information from multiple exchanges. When asked to prove the source, the individual demanded 300 Bitcoin but refused to supply the evidence. Okay, so until we see some new evidence of some new photos of new KYC that didn't take place back in February of 2018, we can only consider this to be FUD. So they basically say that the relevant law enforcement agencies have been contacted, and also, in case anybody that watches my channel knows any information about this, Binance is offering up to a 25 Bitcoin reward for any information on who this guy is, okay? So there you go. That is the situation. Also, while we're talking about Binance, they did introduce the Perlin network token sale on Binance Launchpad. So this is the next IEO. If you guys aren't familiar with Perlin, I actually did a review on them 1 year ago, which is crazy. The main reason that I actually went into it was because of the DAG consensus, and well, not DAG, but it was the Avalanche consensus protocol. Actually, as you can see, I actually did a nice little Avalanche video while I talked about it. So if you guys are interested in learning more about what that is, you could check that out. Like I said, this video came out a year ago. It's nothing new, but if you want to know what Perlin is and what this Avalanche consensus is and what they're trying to do with their cloud computing market space, well, you could check that out. Also, FedCoin just announced the Federal Reserve banks are developing a new interbank 24/7, 365 real-time grossing, clearing, and settlement service to support faster payments in the U.S. So this is interesting. Now, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, is this going to be a competitor to XRP? Well, now I hear speculation. Now, this is not me, guys. I just heard some people saying this. I have no confirmation on this whatsoever, but I heard people speculating, is Ripple teaming up with the Federal Reserve? So I don't know. Could be. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I wonder if that is the truth. If not, then I also wonder how this would affect Ripple. Considering that they're trying to be the global remittance token, right? So let me know what you guys think about that. Interesting. Do you think that this Federal Reserve Bank FedCoin would be a competition for, XRP? Do you think that Ripple is going to partner with them? Let me know what you guys think about that below. But talking about some coin news, and then let's get on out of here. You guys remember the fiasco that happened with the Bitcoin Cash listing on Coinbase with all the insiders, or at least they claim there wasn't insiders. I still think there was insiders, but that's just my opinion. And then Bitcoin Cash spiked up to $9,000. They closed the account. They shut down trading. It was crazy. It was a fiasco. Well, it looks like it's been ruled by a judge that they did not act fraudulently during their botched launch of Bitcoin Cash. So there you go. I guess that's that's the end of that story. Speaking about some other situations, you have Kick. They filed a report today containing a point-by-point rebuttal of the SEC's arguments of, it says, denying the core allegation that the company orchestrated an unregistered securities offering. And what's interesting, they said, what really surprised us is just what lengths the SEC went to twist the facts. They cut quotes and took them out of context. And that's something we didn't expect from the SEC. In fact, that's something that you would see more of these type of media outlets that like to sort of spin things for clickbait and stuff like that, right? But they said the SEC did that in their report. They also emphasized in the statement that it did not conduct one singular sale for the KIN token. Instead, the company sold both a private, SAFT, and a public token sale. The SEC confused the two in its filing, which Kik alleges undermines the organization's case against the ICO. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that and see what's going on. But you're seeing also the European Central Bank says that central banking community will refine its monitoring of cryptocurrency transactions both on and off chain. So basically, these guys want to know what's going on. They want to be able to monitor all of the different, and listen, we know that these ledgers are public, especially if you're using Bitcoin. Everyone can see what's going on. But the thing is it's still difficult to tie the addresses to individuals, right? Some people are trading on exchanges and things of that nature. So you can see right here, understanding the crypto asset phenomenon is basically the report that came out. And they say that they're looking to close the data gaps associated with crypto assets. So yet, while the public nature of distributed ledger technology-based crypto asset networks broadly provide transparency, the decentralized and it says patchily regulated nature of crypto assets and related activities complicate efforts to organize systematic data collection efforts. This is in part due to the absence of hard transaction data covering both on and off-chain activity, resulting in only a partial view of the crypto asset market. So yeah, good luck with that, guys. But on the bright side, my Ether wallet has now introduced a revamped dashboard, and also they have a place for non-fungible tokens. You can hold things like crypto kitties, crypto flowers, gods on chain, ethereum, Cryptant Crab, and they're looking to grow this exponentially. Personally, I like my crypto. I've always had a better experience with it, but I'm not against my Ether wallet. I mean, they're basically the same website, give or take. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically the sort of gateway into the Ethereum network, right? So that is that. And before we go, spotted in Bulgaria Bitcoin crypto exchange. So that is it for today, guys. Having a look, we are still above. We're at $12,046. Bitcoin looking relatively nice still. So we will take it. So let me know what you guys think about what I was talking about in reference to a good opportunity to accumulate. Do you think now is the time? Are you waiting for Bitcoin to go lower? Are you dollar cost averaging? Are you trading on futures? What is your strategy right now to accumulate more Bitcoin? Let me know below. And that being said, thank you so much again. Today is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, but we are only just at the beginning of what I believe to be probably the most insane parabolic run the world will ever witness. And that being said, it's a pleasure and an honor to be having this journey with you. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Also, turn on the bell notification if you haven't. If you want to get these updates in a timely manner. Sometimes YouTube gets a little sneaky and turns it off. I don't know why that is. But that being said, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting the channel using the referral